Rhys Darby should show up unannounced in more movies because he just makes everything better. Welcome to the Daily Neitz, the daily look at classic films, modern cinema, and the world of professional wrestling. And today I'm talking about the 2014 mockumentary What We Do in the Shadows, written by the guys from Flight of the Conchords and starring them. This is a documentary that talks about the secret underground world of vampires living in Wellington, New Zealand. How they exist in modern times, their interactions with other people, how they get their victims, and of course it ends with a big dumb party full of zombies and vampires and just one human. I love mockumentaries, I really do. This is Spinal Tap is an incredible film, love it. There's another one that was a spoof of the Beatles that my best friend Mark and I watched in college, and the name of it is escaping me, but I remember thoroughly enjoying it. I love the style of filmmaking, but it's so hard to do well. What We Do in the Shadows does it very, very well. It highlights like the mundane aspects of the average life, mixing it with just the craziness of, oh, these are vampires, and this guy is 674 years old. So the opening scene is them having a flat meeting, and 3 of the 4 roommates, because Peter can't be bothered, he's 8,000 years old, and literally Count Orlok from Nosferatu. But 3 of the roommates are sitting around the table complaining that one of them hadn't washed the dishes in 5 years, and then they show a mountain of bloodstained dishes. And it's like everyone who's had a roommate has had that conversation. So it's awesome seeing these like horror villains, these classic characters, also having the same conversation. And then it just escalates from there when they add Nick into the fold, and of course Stu, their human counterpart, who introduces them to technology. The text, there's a crucifix behind you when he panics. It's just all these great little jokes and references to classic vampires. I've said before that I took a class on vampire literature, so it was awesome. Just every single character is like, oh, that's the dude from Interview with the Vampire. That's Gary Oldman's Dracula. That's Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Hi, Count Orlok. It's just, like, there were all these like major characters. The one even says he's the guy from Twilight. I mean, come on. And then of course the werewolves come in, and it was just an unexpected moment. I didn't know what was about to happen. They were acting weird. What's going on? And just a pack of werewolves, and it's the same thing. And they're they just look like normal dudes out about town, and they have a little argument. And we're werewolves, not swearwolves. Thank you, Rhys Darby, for being the best. I love me. It's hilarious. And you could, like, even in that moment, and then the scenes at the end, the climax of the film, there's other stories happening with those werewolves. A very similar documentary is actually going to be made. They're actually making a sequel called We're Wolves, which is a pun, and I love it, and Cody hates me for it. And I can't wait to see that sequel, because I like this universe they've built in that vampires and werewolves and zombies exist among humans, and vampire hunters are real, but they also, they have an apartment they have to maintain, and they struggle with, the police got called on us because we were being loud at night again, and they can't get into clubs, and it's just wonderful, wonderful universe they're building, and I can't wait to see more of it with Werewolves, or What We Do in the Moonlight. I don't know if they actually picked the title yet. I believe it's Werewolves, which is great. But yeah, that's what I gotta say about What We Do in the Shadows. I know yesterday I said either Ant-Man or Inside Out. Probably do one of those next week when Cody can join me. She couldn't join me this morning. But until then, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below. If you're into wrestling and you stumble upon this and it's not yet Extreme Rules time, follow me on Twitter at Daily Neitz. I will be live tweeting the wrestling event later today. That is Extreme Rules for 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, I think is when the pre-show starts, and that's when I'm going to start live tweeting my thoughts. Tomorrow I'll have a video repeating those thoughts. But until then, bye.